All right. I'll start one more time. This is last time, everybody. And then all right. Assuming we are spiritually fit, we can do all sorts of things alcoholics are not supposed to do. People have said we must not go where liquor is served. We must not have it in our homes. We must shun friends who drink. We must avoid moving pictures which show drinking scenes. We must not go into bars. Our friends must hide their bottles if we go into their houses. We mustn't think or be reminded about alcohol at all. Our experience shows that this is not necessarily so. We meet these conditions every day. An alcoholic who cannot meet them still has an alcoholic mind. There is something the matter with his spiritual status. His only chance for sobriety would be someplace like the Greenland ice cap. And even there, an Eskimo might turn up with a bottle of scotch and ruin everything. Ask any woman who has sent her husband to distant places on the theory he would escape the alcohol problem. So yeah, I know it's you're going to talk about what you're going to talk about, but hey, thanks for letting me be of service, and over to you, Paul.
Thanks, Kerry, and welcome everyone. Nice to see everybody. The big word is the assuming we are spiritually fit. So then that condition will outshine other conditions. If that condition, spiritually fitness, isn't established yet, then like it says, you have to practice these principles in all your affairs. And if you can't, limit your affairs. It's just a pragmatic way of living sober. Yeah. So yeah, if you're fit spiritually, if something has occurred to you where, because really the drink isn't the temptation, it's our condition that makes it tempting to drink. Yeah. This is like the logic of the understanding. At first, we have to protect ourselves because we don't have any defense against the first drink. Then the conditions change, and our condition right now is the defense against the first drink. So that opens up a lot more things. Now, the importance of having mentors or sponsors is that you may be assuming you're in a certain condition, but they may tell you, hey, bro, take it slow. You're not it. Yeah. You're not there yet. So the importance of having someone to speak with about conditions in your life, even if you want to call it a spiritual condition, the other conditions, they don't have a dog in the hunt in a way, and they may be able to tell you something that you're not telling yourself. Yeah. So that's one of the many importances of having a community and working with others, and working with others doesn't mean you're doing all the inviting and they're doing all the, doing. You may be being worked with as an other. Yes. So yeah, assuming we are spiritual fit, we can do all sorts of things alcoholics are not supposed to do. So basically what you do and what you don't do is not based on what you do and don't do, but the condition you're seemingly in. And the whole point of recovery is to tell the truth about the basis we're in, which is trusting the finite self, and then doing the program and living this life and following these principles and these suggestions. Then we have a new basis of living, which is trusting the infinite. And the trust in the infinite produces a condition that isn't seeing things that you used to see as desirous, basically. You just lose interest in a lot of stuff that used to destroy you, really. You lose interest in being right. You lose interest in a lot of things, yeah. So the second paragraph, I don't know if we went into this one. We meet these conditions every day. Yes. So we meet these conditions every day, hopefully with a condition, hopefully being in a new condition. It's like that old song, I just checked in to see what condition my condition is in. So yeah, you just you don't want to be the doctor in most cases. You want to sort of have other people mentoring. The idea of sponsorship is so valuable. Yeah, so we meet these conditions every day. An alcoholic who cannot meet them still has an alcoholic mind. So yeah, basically the mental state hasn't been diminished enough, and therefore a lot of situations are like landmines. Yeah. So basically, if you follow the suggestions, you won't step on the typical landmines of, having an active case of alcoholism and still not wanting to drink. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see, we can, an alcoholic who cannot meet them still has an alcoholic mind. There is something the matter with his spiritual status. See, I don't believe there's anything the matter with the spiritual status. I think if the mental status is overdeveloped, there's not enough attention or there's not enough influence that the spiritual condition is having in our life. Yeah. The mental condition is overriding any other possibility, and we're living a life run on self-will, which is hardly going to be a success. That's all mental. I think the spiritual status is always open and receptive and ready to go, so to speak. Yeah. His only chance for sobriety would be someplace like the Greenland ice cap. Yeah, so many people have experienced this. They go into a 28-day program. Someone may tell them when they're in there, what's the most important day of the 28-day program? It's the 29th day, really. It's what happens when you leave. Those conditions of being protected, and then a lot of people go back out. Yeah, it happened with me, and I was in a 2-year cocoon, and I didn't drink or use. But when I got out of that cocoon, I was easy prey for the parasite, and basically it used me for transportation once again. Yeah, until I got washed up on the shores of AA finally. So this is how I see it. You obviously, your reactions to things are mostly based on your condition, not the thing's condition. Yes. That's why this is a subjective experience. The experience is really based on us, not what we're doing, so to speak. A lot of people that go to Hawaii, from Wisconsin, and a lot of people from Wisconsin who are at Hawaii aren't having a good time. Yet there's some that are. So obviously it's not Hawaii. Yeah, it's like awakeness 101. Yeah, like you give a lot of meaning to everything. So, and that meaning that you're given is based on the condition you seem to be in or that you're really in. Yeah. If you're in a mental condition, you're reacting to life from a seeming take where false evidence is appearing real quite a lot. Yeah. And so decisions are made based on false evidence that set off trains of circumstances that bring us misfortune we feel we don't deserve, and no one's listening to us, so fuck it, I'm just going to get drunk. Yeah. And there you go. Once you drink, the genie's out of the bottle, and you're going to have a lot more than 3 wishes. You're going to be... I've seen a lot of people, they almost look like they were bushwhacked after 20 years of sobriety, and they go back out. They can't believe it. They cannot believe it. They're sitting at a meeting, and they've been at hundreds of meetings, but they're sitting there waiting for it to end because they have an urge to drink, which they haven't had for 20 years. Yeah. The condition can change so quickly. Yeah. So, yeah, that's about all I got to say about it. The nice reading. Of course, again, that's what we try to do. These are why these rehabs and programs are going on. They try to control conditions so they can make a like a advantageous condition for the person not to drink and use for those 28 days or 6 months or whatever. The unfortunate thing is, how can that be carried on? A lot of people, the bridge is that day they leave that control condition, and hopefully they step into an AA meeting, because then the AA life and the community is going to support them so that they can get strong in this spiritual condition and have the mental condition weaken so that they can go, they become like a free-range alcoholic. Yes, you're just roaming around. You're not, I can't go there, I can't see that. You know, none of that applies anymore. But if you act as if that doesn't apply and you're not in that condition, you may tend to go back out. Yeah, this is why we need to speak to people. Yeah. Yeah. If your idea is so great, why not share it with someone? Yeah. They may tell you you're insane. And maybe if you're open, it's going to prevent you from starting off on that imaginary journey and save you a lot of time and trouble. Yeah. If not, you'll learn the hard way. And AA will always be, you know, AA is always open. Yeah. What happens to AA? Does AA change? You change. Yeah. Some people hate AA, and then suddenly one day it just shifts, and now they love meetings. And now I've seen them, they have 34 years. Yeah. I watched them come in. They were fucking always sitting in the back, had a lot of attitude, but they kept coming back. And then one day the script flipped, and they got something occurred, and they've been in that condition for 34 years. Yeah. And almost every time I run into them in the city, they're with a person in AA, either a newcomer or something. Yeah, they're doing their little bit. Yeah, and so they stay healthy. All right, well, there you go.
All right, I'm going to open it up to questions. That's weird that you mentioned that song, what condition your condition was in, because this morning when I was listening to Spotify, that song came on, and it was like a blast from the past. I think it's even like, correct me if I'm wrong, is that can't be Kenny Rogers. He used to be a rock star.
No, it's not Kenny Rogers.
He sings something like that, right? Kenny Rogers has like an old rock tune. He used to be anyways, I digress.
No, but I think they had that song in The Big Lebowski, the Coen movie. So
okay.
I think it brought it back into prominence, but it's a great line, really.
It's a great
line. so yeah. So instead of you checking in, maybe you check in with the sponsor, and he'll tell you what condition your spiritual condition is in. Yeah, that would probably be helpful. You may think you're a spiritual giant.
No.
We should change those lyrics for AA. Yeah, I'm just gonna check in with my sponsor to see what condition my condition is in. Yeah, that would be wise, definitely.
Cool.
And then you get established. Do you see, like in the third step where it says, this is all the flavor in time, right? You sincerely take the position of what? The third step, yeah? Turning one's will over to care. Yeah, making a decision to turn one's will over to the care of a higher power. Yes? So you sincerely take that position. And then what happens is you get established in that position. So in the beginning, yeah, the position may be rocky and it may have no defense and it may have to be vigilant and stuff, but over time it gets established.
Yeah? Song, what condition my condition is in.
Yeah, it gets established, and in that condition, that which used to scare you and attack you doesn't anymore. Yeah. There's a thing in the Course in Miracles, a lesson. It says, my attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. So in a way, the spiritual condition becomes an invulnerability to the mental attacks. Yeah. So you can withstand the mental attacks and not act out on them because of the strength of the spiritual condition. And I believe inherently the spiritual condition has a strength. It's not based on you, it's its own nature. So I had a little progression when I came into AA. First, the idea of the higher power of your own understanding, and then it quickly turned into a higher power of its own understanding. And that's been working ever since. Yeah. Why would I want a higher power held in the understanding of the lower power? It's insane. So I humbly believe the spirit's condition is fit all the time. Yeah. The mental condition is where the malady lies. Yes. Yeah. And if the mental condition is fed too much interest and attention, it flips out. Don't you see? It mutates into some weird shit. It really does. I mean, I knew someone, I would try to test of how could I say something that there was no way she could have any possible connection to, and she could turn anything into a concern about her, her head. It was unbelievable. She could get fearful about something I was talking about, a rock found on Neptune. And I'd watch her head. It would take maybe less than a minute to fucking apply it to her and concern her and then create anxiety. It was mind-boggling. Yeah. She had too much free time. The head was just like growing like a weird vine. Yeah. Around the ideation of self. It was really, oh man. And the fruit, the berries were poisonous. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Hey, Paul, I just want to interject that it was Kenny Rogers.
Oh, it was. He sang that song? I thought it was a different, it was a group before him. He
That's
may
Kenny.
have sang it, but
Don't take my love to town.
He wasn't the original. No.
Anyways, who wants to ask a question or just give us a comment or check in? Well, Paul. Looks like Michael's getting ready now. Could we, I can't, do you want me to call on someone, Paul, or just, oh, there we go. Thank you. Chris. Cool.
Hey, everyone. I just want to, so I mentioned the other day, Paul, that I had an incredible lion experience. And I didn't realize I had the lion experience until I was back to being the sheep. And it was similar. It was just, that's what made me laugh. You know, there was this memory. Oh, wow, I just had I just had an incredible lion experience. And then your word, I didn't, that wasn't, those weren't the words that first hit me. The words that first hit me were, wow, that was incredible. And then I was like, oh, I'm a sheep having a lion experience. And I want to have that experience again. But I just thought it was funny because you tell that story and you say what's important is what happens next. Yes. Happens after, you know, and what does
you just had a living illustration of it. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
What totally better way to change or to get through to mind but imagery? Yeah. It's the highest form of communication here. Is if you can trigger an imaging in the head, it goes a lot farther than you know, digesting word after word after word.
Yeah. Totally unexpected. Nothing caused it. It caused it.
Yeah.
Seems to happen.
Yeah, because you're it. Yeah.
The second I commented on it.
Trying to be it is a denial of your it. See, this is the dilemma.
Yeah.
We believe, before we start believing, there's belief already in place. So we believe that we're a person, a long-lasting, independent, separate thing, and our personhood is synonymous with a body. Yeah. So we feel like a subject, but we're pictured as an object. This is the epitome of duality. Yeah. And in non-duality, what non-duality is not that, this subject objectness. So this idea of having a lion experience, and of course, then the lion experience could be a revelation that is your nature, but usually it gets turned into an experience the false nature has claimed. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
And so now the sense of your own being becomes something that's sought. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
This is why there's addiction in spirituality, because it's called spiritual seeking, can be a form of addiction.
Yeah.
Because while you're looking for you, there's a denial of what you are.
Yeah.
And therefore,
100%.
what's getting reinforced is not the lionhood, but the sheephood. The sheep wants to become like a lion. Yeah.
Exactly.
While it's already a lion. So if this doesn't work for you, great. But if it triggers a recognition and these shoes fit, then walk in them, because there's got more revealed. I'm telling you. If
it was
you
like
don't,
a rope letting
hold
go.
Hold on one second. If you don't see, it's all right. Do whatever you need to do. If you feel like you're a spiritual being called Paul, having a human experience called Paul, go ahead, go for it. Just meditate, fucking become brilliantly aware, have the bluest of blue eyes, stuck in a great monotone. You seem to, hold your shit no matter what, then flip out on a wall in your house when you get home, whatever. All this stuff. This isn't the point. We're not making anything wrong by implying this is right. You do whatever. But if the shoe fits, please walk in it for a while and see what happens. And then maybe, just maybe, you'll have a sense that you're traveling lighter with no thought effort on your part.
What does walking in that shoe for a while mean?
I don't know what it's going to mean to you. I don't. But I think it's going to be revelatory, and it's going to fortify what you may think is just a message. Yeah.
I mean, how do I walk in that shoe?
Just living. Going through today, Thursday.
That person you just described, who you could say anything and it would somehow relate to her?
Yes.
Yeah, that's me. I could be watching TV.
Oh, that's not you. See, this is the beauty of it. This is the beauty of it. You just got to the point. That's me. And now the negation is, and it's not. So there's a truth telling, and it doesn't get fucking misinterpreted. It's, that's you, and you're not that you. Okay. Instead of trying not to be like that as the same you see it's not you, and you lose interest in all of that budget going to that renewal of getting that better and whatever. It's just an ease and comfort arises, because finally you can say all about you. Yeah, I'm an asshole. Yeah, I'm self-centered this. I want it to go my way. And and I'm not. Hallelujah. Yes, instead of I am, and I can't let this come in because I am something else, and I don't want that information that could be contrary. This is just slavery. Slavery. This is hey, you just did it without you knowing it. It's me. Yes, exactly. And now here's the understanding, and it's not. Yes. It's not a denial mechanism. It's a negation mechanism.
Yeah.
Denial doesn't work, because denial is trying to hide a reality. This is informing you it's not a reality. This is negation.
It was like a rope letting go. Not that a thing went away.
It can be whatever it looks like. These are the artistic flourishes, but you ran into the fact, yes? And then things dance around that. Some are dancing, they're expressing exuberance, joy. The others want to interpret it and just put it into the same old, same old. Yeah, see it. You see it. But now something is clear that wasn't clear. That unsuspected in a resource is not in a condition of unsuspected. You are aware of it. You are aware of what you are, and you're seeing what you're not. And that seeing what you're not has been representing you for years, and you're not that. Hallelujah. Yes.
Thank you, Paul.
Well, yeah, you said it perfectly. You go this whole thing, it's me. And then usually what happens is you want to hide it, make it better, avoid it, deny it, blame it on someone. No, it's me. Let it completely land, and I'm not that. This is what happened. When I got sober, shit I had been keeping up in the air as the air traffic controller, never letting it to land because it seemed unbearable. That because I had a feeling it was true, that I was an asshole, selfish, shit like that. I had it just floating around up there. Finally, in recovery, everything was allowed to land. Yeah. And that which I thought was me and didn't want to be me, I finally saw it was not me.
I see.
Not by trying to get out of it with a trick. I saw it as foreign. That's the point. Yes. This is not trying to make something you think is you foreign. I saw you as foreign. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
It's different. I hate when the you tries to make itself foreign. It doesn't fucking work, first of all. You know, I have calls from people that the you is trying to make itself foreign. No, you see the you as foreign. Yes? Let it be. It's all of what it is in all of its regalia. Yeah. And then you see it's not you.
Okay.
And then what happens? Find out. I would hate to take away the joy of finding out by trying to describe it, because I don't know how it's going to go for you or as you. But I know certain things are going to go for sure. And that the traveling is going to get progressively lighter. And a lot of shit that used to strangle you with fucking misspent interest will be freed to enrich your day. That I know. Yeah,
that's already happening.
There you go.
You as you said, you can't lose interest, but once you start to see what's happening, you kind of can't be interested in a bunch of it anymore.
Exactly, because the underlying thing that makes all the interest go to that's about you. If it's not about you, the interest. It's just like it's mechanical in a way. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I didn't come up with this. It's been reverse engineered. Yeah.
Yeah.
Relief started to occur, and then it told me why the relief didn't seem to be available. That's all that happened. Yeah. And I'm attempting to share it with you.
Yeah. I appreciate it, Paul.
Well, with everyone. Yeah. Especially, here it's from in our tribe, recovery. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I moved out of recovery, going to other places, I realized the real addiction is this addiction to self. It's
absolutely
happening in a lot of venues and a lot of settings, and
it hides better in some other settings.
The ideation of it is like in Buddhism, they call it the cherishing of self. It's like an ideation of this idea that you're the doer, the thinker, the feeler, the taster, the toucher, the haver, the loser, the alpha and the omega, all that. And you trying to be so big really causes a sense of incredible smallness, really. It does. You're so much on the lookout for people. They may pop your little balloon. Just unbelievable. Yeah. So you want to be a big frog in a small pond, go ahead. But yeah, this is about something else. Yeah. And if you don't get it, it's fine. I mean, just do what you need to do. And if this is going to be a way in or out for you, you'll be led to it. It happens, like most of you here. Yeah. Yeah. When I used to always be surprised, like when people find themselves in AA, not realizing that's the invitation life has given. That's the envelope. You're going to get relief through AA. That's why you're here. If life wanted you to get relief somewhere else, you probably would have gone there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to get it through AA. Well, all right. Argue with reality. It doesn't, you're not going to win. So go ahead, argue as much as you like. I hate AA. And then they drink and they leave and they inevitably have to come back to AA. It's insane. You know what I mean? So
something keeps pulling me here. I know that much.
Why bite the hand that feeds you? Recovery is feeding you. And it's just insane to me. All of it, really. So yeah, Chris, thank you for starting us off. And you hit the exact point. It was like a crescendo. It's me, and then it's the answer, and it's not. See, this was very rarely offered before. It was, I'm so afraid that it's me, I never want to go there. Now, you're actually willing to go there because it's not you. Seriously. Yes? Yeah.
I
totally to hear all about me now because it's not me. I hated when people used to tell me about me when I was me. Fuck you. Yeah. But now you want to go at it? Great, because it's not me. And it's not like there's another me. It's not me. Whatever other me shows up, it's not me. And then I have a lot of fun doing nothing on Thursday. Yeah. Yesterday I went to jury duty.
I had that Monday.
I had it yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was a trip.
Yeah. It was a good exercise in not knowing what the hell's going to happen. Am I going to spend the next 2 weeks sitting in this trial, or am I just going to go home and?
I know. Yeah. It's my fate is in other people's hands.
Yeah, go into this room and also people like judging you, like asking you these cryptic questions, and then like, thank you, we don't want you.
Here we do a questionnaire now, but I could have gotten right out of jury duty by my first answer, but I decided to go.
I wanted to get picked.
Yes. What do you think of the judicial system? Wait. Do you believe all policemen are honest? Well, I need more pages here.
Let me tell you something. Normal me would be totally afraid of having my routine messed up, but I saw it as a way of being of service. I really did. It was a medical malpractice case involving a pregnant woman who lost her baby. So both the mother and the doctor were in the courtroom, and both of them were like traumatized. And I was like, I can help. There's no good answer to this, right? There's no solution here that's going to make everything okay. It's already bad what happened. And I was like, I think I can help. And then I wanted to do that more than go back to my normal life. So that's not what this action figure usually behaves like. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, I noticed when I came into AA, I was much more willing to do things because of AA than I would have ever done if it was about me. Yeah. So AA brought out the best in the action figure, Paul. It did.
That's what Zen Bitch Slap is now.
Yeah, me. Good. Yeah. AA, called me to greater heights in a sense. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Thanks, man. Anyone else, Michael or whoever, Kerry?
Hey, thank you much, Chris. Appreciate that. Maria, you had your hand up for a while. You were waiting patiently. Would you still like to come in? Maria? Okay, well, we have Jimmy. Jimmy, you're up. Come on in, Jimmy.
Jimmy, recovering alcoholic. Thank you very much, Paul, for your service, and I would like to thank everybody for being here. In the beginning, Paul, you mentioned something about people picking a higher power of their own understanding, which is step 3. I'm only 30 days sober, so I'm going to read it. It said, we decided to turn our will and our life over to God. I read somewhere that that was step 3 in the beginning. The founding fathers had it worded that way, but because there was a lot of angry atheists, they had to add, as we understood him, so that way they can get the fellowship to keep growing and helping other people out. The confusion that I have, or the defiance as an alcoholic, is that you're telling me that I got to get out of my mind, but then you're telling me I can choose a God in my mind.
But
So
hold on one second, Jimmy. My feeling is we're not telling you to get out of your mind. We're telling you to admit you can't get out of your mind. It's different. And also the third step says into the care of God, not to God, but to the care. Yeah, I think the wording says that. We turn our will and life, we make a decision to turn our will and life over to the care of God, which is different than to God. Yes. Yeah. And again, the idea of the first step rings throughout the steps, which is an admittance that we're outmatched, so to speak. So no one's trying to tell me you have to get out of mind. People were telling me, you've got to admit you can't get out of mind and surrender. And so that's how I see as the theme of AA for me, or that's how I was directed and led through AA in the beginning, was an admittance of powerlessness and I'm outmatched, and just finally admitted. And then the admittance really occurred in the innermost self. And that innermost self, that unsuspected inner resource, teamed with grace, seemed to have an overwhelming influence that changed my life. Yeah. So my life changed slowly, but gradually and consistently, going in the direction of sobriety now for 35 years. So that's an amazing, to have such a deep pattern groove get altered and go in a completely different way is, to me, unbelievable. So, yeah, that's how I see it. And the idea of, I feel AA, because they had such a feeling, they knew, that's why they have it in the book, Contempt Prior to Investigation, that a lot of people, because of contempt prior to investigation, were going to disqualify themselves for what AA could offer. So they try to make the doors as wide as possible so that anyone could enter. And they really bent over backwards with we agnostics and all like that, with the hopes that once you got in, the effects would be enough to keep you here, because they had a feeling that they were onto something, and it seems to have played out to be true. Yeah. So it was basically just get them in the room and then maybe things will start happening. So that's my opinion of it over the years. So the idea of a higher power of my own understanding is, I think, was presented in a way because a lot of people felt other people's understandings of God were, pushed down their throats, and they had an attitude about that. And they didn't want to have any more of that. They didn't want to have to follow someone else's God. So AA found an incredible way to get those people into the recovery by widening the door frame, which is awesome in my case. So, and then once you in, it says, obviously, really, it says somewhere in the book that this idea of your own understanding is obviously going to change as you get a sense of the presence of that power. You're going to start having an intimacy with something that you were just corresponding through, let's say, letters. You're actually sensing it now, and your understanding is going to me, it just hit to the point that it was obvious my understanding was quite limited. Why would I want to frame this power with a limited frame? Yeah, it just made no sense. So it brought me to an understanding that I'm going to leave up the higher power's understanding up to itself, and then it will tell me what it wants me to know. And it's worked for 35 years. Yeah. So after that, I've never had another year of the higher power. I just, because that would be trying to make it into my own understanding again. So I've been freed from that, and I just witness its demonstrations in other people in my life. Yeah. Yeah. I hope that helped. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm a real believer of this isn't about trying to manage better or like takes like protein powder so you can do what you couldn't do before. It's just a flat out admittance that you're fucked, and you're open to, you know what, you're open maybe to the tiniest little possibility of like meeting that person the next day at an AA meeting. But hey, that's the little bit of willingness goes a long, long way here. So yeah, and that theme, I don't think has changed for me. I'm just not managerial quality directed by the brain here. Yes, it just doesn't. It's got a very myopic view, and and there's a lot of grooves in the record that it gets stuck in. So yeah, I like something else playing the tunes. Yeah. All right. So anyone else, Mike?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Jimmy. Next up, we have Nicholas. Nicholas, you have your hand up.
Nicholas.
Oh, hey, Paul. Hey, everyone. I was talking to my sponsor the other day and, about self, and he brought up how when we're born, we're the center of the universe, and all our needs are met, and we have to, out of necessity, create a self. But what really stayed with me was the idea of being a newborn and how that is our true self. And that is the true way of experiencing consciousness and being. And I was just hoping for your comment.
Well, whatever works for you. My feeling is that, you have the radio on at the same time or whatever. You have the Zoom on. My feeling is that the baby isn't really experiencing consciousness. Consciousness is experiencing through the baby, so to speak. Yeah, that's how I see it. So I don't believe the baby thinks it's the center of the universe. I don't think the baby's thinking really too much at all. And if there are thoughts, it's the idea of the thought that I'm the thinker of them. I don't think it's occurred yet. Yeah. So
yeah, the idea that I once was this being that experienced the universe without the filter of self allowed me to re-experience that to a small degree. Yeah, it was just helpful for me.
Yeah, that's the whole point. It's what's helpful. Yeah. Whatever, if someone's presenting something and they think they're right and it's not helpful, just do what is helpful for now. Yeah. So whatever makes you feel, you want to start having your scale not to be mentally debated, your scale of whatever, of life, your take on it. Have it become like a sense felt tactile thing where it's much more galvanizing than thinking and stuff. Yeah. And so a lot of times we use the thinking or this way of looking at it or this little trick is like a crutch. It's good. It helps us get back on our feet, so to speak, or keep going in the right direction. But inevitably, the crutch gets put down. Yeah. And then you're just like when I'm speaking, I'm feeling something. I feel it. I sense something. Yeah. The speaking is secondary. The sense of what's happening or moving through is what that's the first and foremost. Yeah. And I feel that's what gets developed in recovery. Yeah. Because you lose interest in self, and therefore you gain interest in what you are. And what you are is more like I am, or it's more like a sense feltness than a biographical history. Yes. You know, accompanied with imagery. Yeah. It's like pictures of you in different stages of your life. I feel much more, that's in a way, it's like, I think we're blind, and the braille that works for me is tactile, sense felt. Yes. Yes. Yeah. The understanding is just, it's like scaffolding, implying that there's a building there. Sense feltness, you can't see it and everything, but an understanding is like a scaffold that it can hang on. But it's the sense feltness is the essence. Yeah. Yeah. So the spiritual awakening is awakening to awareness. Yeah. That where it's not that awareness awakens, it's always awakened. We, as this action figure, become aware of things, yeah, as awareness. And that awareness has a presence, a sense feltness. And that, to me, is the heart of the spiritual awakening. That's the heart of the spiritual condition, is a sense of this I am, yeah? And it becomes the director, or it's what is directing, uses to direct. Yeah. 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 So. I don't know where I was going with that, but there you go. I just have a, so what's working for you, yeah, milk it until it doesn't. Yeah. Because inevitably you're going to be left with your own condition, which is spirit, I feel. Yeah. And then a lot of the crutches may not be needed anymore, or a lot of the skillful means may not be picked up anymore, and there may be not that many visitations to step 8 and 9, because most things get reconfigured through 6 and 7. Yeah. So I feel like recovery progresses, and I really feel like it progresses to that unsuspected inner resource is incredibly suspected, and it's a real sense of it. Yeah, becomes the new heart of the matter, so to speak. Yeah, not like it ever has not been, but it's nice when we're aligned with the fact. It tends to allow the action figure to travel lighter through whatever life has in store for it. Yeah. Yeah. So. All right, Mike. That's like. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Nicholas.
Can you hear the chimes here today?
No, I don't hear them.
The chimes are incredible today. In the chime,
I don't see any.
All right.
Okay.
We're missing a lot. The chimes have a frequency, yes? It's like vibration. And so it just tails off. Yeah. So maybe at one condition, all we hear is the first thing. Let's say in the spiritual awakening, you hear the whole tailing off. And then it never actually stops. It tails off, and then a crescendo occurs. And it's like a seamless string. Yeah. That's what we're resting on. That's our new basis. Yeah. Trusting the infinite rather than finite self. Finite self, there's so many holes it has to cover over and patch over or wallpaper. Yeah. Which causes a deep anxiety in all of us because we don't feel a reliability where we most need to feel a reliability, because our attention and interest is set on something that's chaotic and agitated. Yeah. That same interest and attention, if it rested in the I am, would evoke expressions and mimicking that I am, and it would be chilled out somewhat. Yeah. There would be an assurance. There'd be peace. Yeah. The spirit doesn't just strip everything down. It replaces it. It gives you a real foundation so that you can see the old false foundation. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look at AA. It works. You may have tons of opinions about it, but it's worked for millions of people that nothing had worked before. I mean, there's something going on through recovery. Yeah. Yeah. Could you, that's something going on through recovery is actually your true nature. Yeah. What's saving you is you, in a way, through the mechanism of recovery. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if the higher power is always available at all times, right where you are, you may be it. Yeah. That's the unsuspected resource. It's you. It's been unsuspected to be you because of this mental you. Yeah. Get out the middle, man, and you're it in a way. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mike.
Sure. Maria, you have your hand up. You came back. Thank you. Would you like to ask a question?
Sure. Hi, this is my first time here, and I'm fairly new to 12-step. I live in a small community in Canada, and the only 12-step that's available here is like an overcomers group. It's Christian based. I love Jesus. I love the idea of a radical Jesus. And I started going, and then I began to have experiences of being held in this warmth, and my heart and my body feeling really warm. And I would just talk to myself out loud, cry, express, whatever. And I would be speaking, I would say, you know, to my beloved Jesus, or beloved, but I'm not 100% convinced that it's Jesus, but it feels like it, because I don't know. I also had a similar experience, just giving myself compassion, where I felt something greater than me was holding me. And I felt a sense of love. And through this, you know, praying or talking to Jesus, I have felt more loved. I don't think I've really ever felt loved this way. And I really, really feel it. In the last week, I feel a little bit disconnected from it because I've been preoccupied with more worldly things. And I'm not 100% sure that this overcomers group is working for me, because it's so biblical. So, you know, you're a sinner, you're a sinner, you're a sinner. And I accept that at a deep level, it's true. We're all compromised. We're all fucked. And I know that I'm fucked beyond my ability to unfuck myself. So I guess I'm a little lost. I'm not really sure, how to approach things. I also have a sense that whatever Jesus Christ is this awareness, and I am that. And am I really speaking to Jesus? Am I speaking to myself? Who am I speaking to? I don't know, but I would appreciate some help as a newbie. Thank you.
Well, yeah. Well, if you can't get around to different towns there, then look at AA on Zoom. There's tons of different meetings that you could visit and maybe see what works for you. Yeah. And maybe you would meet a woman there that could talk to you, and maybe she'd have some suggestions of another meeting, and you can find your way. If you're in a small town, I remember I lived in a beach town here. Luckily, I had a lot of time at that time, and there would be like 3 people at the meeting. So we all heard each other's story so much, but at least I could drive to San Francisco and get some kind of flavor and variation. So there's a lot of meetings online, as obviously you found this one. This isn't an AA meeting, but you found this. And so that's one thing I would suggest. And what is everything before it's named, So just if that feeling of warmth and everything is going on, the auxiliary is something has an urge to name it, so who cares? Yeah. You know what I mean? What I would care about is that feeling, that sense, yes? And bathe in that. And then, because then all the debate comes with the who, Everyone's looking for the what, that sense of relief, but then the who can become contentious and shit. So yeah, something's going on before name. So I would tend to lean that way instead of leaning into the name, Jesus, not Jesus, whatever. Yeah, that's my opinion. And there are a lot of meetings that aren't overtly Christian based, and you can find yeah, there's a lot of different, like in San Francisco, we had a lot of different meetings. There's not much restraint on the form of the meeting unless it's harming AA as a whole. And so some people it used to be like a talk show, like a Johnny Carson thing. And the main speaker would be sort of like, and he'd have to take questions from the audience, and it was just a trip. But it was AA, yeah. So that's what I would suggest, and I think it's about time that warm feeling is coming in your life. So I don't care what brings it to you. Just say hello to the warm feeling, yeah.
Thank you, Paul.
I just watched a movie on this other thing where Al Pacino is the guy Scarface. He says, say hello to my whatever, and then he blows up the door with this giant like bazooka gun. Say hello to my something. Well, say hello to that love and presence. Great.
Say hello to my little friend.
Yeah, say hello to my little friend. Well, here, I don't want. And then it would have sucked. It would say, and my friend's name is Paul. No, say hello to my little friend is sufficient. You're going to get the wallop. You don't need to know, oh, he's from New Haven. Just say hello to my little friend. Yeah. That feeling of grace and warmth. Yeah. So that's about all I can say. There's lovely women here, Mickey and other people. I think if you would, I don't know how you do the chat in the Zoom, but I'm sure other people would talk to you after this meeting. Yes? And be able to
online meetings, and I put my number in the chat so I can send links and yeah. Just put it out there. There's a lot of people here in AA, so they'll be more than happy to talk with you. Yes? I think I lost her. Is she gone? I don't know.
No, she's still here.
I'm
Hi,
here.
Marianne.
I'm still listening. Thank you.
All right. Yes. I hope that it was helpful. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Paul, that's all the hands for today.
Great, Mike. You know, in Hinduism, they talk about how things really go crazy when after name and form is given. Once we start calling something something, it's not that something we were calling. So, all right, let me say hello to Natalie. Nice to see you, Natalie. Yeah, yes. Jimmy, thank you, Jimmy, for the questions today. Suzanne's iPhone, Suzanne M, nice to see you. Greg S, thank you, Greg, for the donation, everything, and support. Mickey, as always. Yeah. Michael Stacy, the two Madeireites. Yes. Yeah. Joseph.
Paul, a guy sent a message in chat with a question. I don't think he could verbalize it. I don't know if you want to look at that before you finish.
Oh, Michael, tell me it. I can't see I don't even know how to do that. Let me hit chat. What is this?
Okay, so I've seen a couple of them. It says, do I have to have a sponsor from the same program? Can an AA sponsor an Al-Anon?
Do I have to have a sponsor from the same program?
Yeah.
I would think it would be helpful if the person has been relieved of the ailment that you're suffering from. That would be a suggestion, but I don't think there's any galvanized rule. But I would, yeah.
There's also one from Paul in Pennsylvania.
It's hard to capture the view of an alcoholic and an addict without being an alcoholic and an addict. So, yeah, I would suggest staying with whatever group you're in. Yeah, unless the person has experiences in both. Yeah, that's just a suggestion. There's no written rules or laws.
There's also Paul from Pennsylvania who wrote something at 11:17.
Okay, I don't have that on my chat because I came back in. Could you read it first, please?
Yeah, so this is from Paul in Pennsylvania. So I recently relapsed on New Year's Eve after a couple of years being sober. I say sober because I've been on Suboxone for 4.5 years now, and I'm so tired of being on it. It feels like being handcuffed all day and night. And now, also, I just found out my daughter has been smoking weed now. She's 14, so I know that age can be difficult for her, especially nowadays. It's been kind of stressing me out between both situations. Maybe Paul might have an opinion on how to deal with the physical withdrawal without actually going to a detox, and also on my kids starting to experiment on things. Also, I should also mention that I OD'd on New Year's Eve on methadone because I didn't bring enough subs. So I went to the streets and found me a bottle of methadone, but my body couldn't take the amount I took, and it put me straight into an OD. Since then, I've only been on the Suboxone.
Well, first of all, I'm not intimate with Suboxone. I never did it. I don't know much about it. And the idea of detoxing, I know some of these things, the detox from them are very severe, where you need to have some administered help with it. Yeah, so I don't know if I would go it alone, but I don't know what it's like to withdraw from that.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's actually worse. It all depends on the person, but most of the times it's worse than actually detoxing from any other opiate, like heroin or pills. My thing was pills.
I would probably wanted some people, one person to be there, then yes. Yeah. Other than you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, because obviously that's not working. Me by myself trying to
The
wean
thing
off is not working.
with your your daughter, I think in this case, you got to get right first. Yeah. Yes. And then
Absolutely.
and because she has her own trajectory, but you need to get your trajectory a little bit you
Absolutely.
know, yeah, that would be my feeling, and then look at it from there. But
yeah, because the thing is, it's like I don't try to put too much pressure on her because I know
yes,
I'm not doing the best either. Like you just said, those things run through my mind, and I'm at night, I'm at home, like how the hell I tell this girl what to do, what not to do, if I haven't even gotten my thing straight yet. You know what I mean? And this kid is about to be.
There you go. Yeah,
she's about to be 15. I'm gonna be 39 soon, and it's like something's gotta give, and I worry a lot about her, but you're absolutely right. It starts with me because I can't tell her one thing and then do the complete opposite.
Yeah. But then again, it's going to start at a day at a time, my friend. So just for today, yeah, just you don't have to, it's not like you have to eat the whole thing all at once. Just for today, be open for some power to come in and assist to change you in a way. Yeah. So
yes,
this is why we have a day at a time in recovery. The problem loves time. It loves to say it's always going to be this way. It's never going to work. And so knowing this, it's a very, very important statement in recovery is a day at a time. Yeah. Try to shrink down all your fucking imaginary concerns or admit they're not yours and just, look at where your feet are and take the next step and do the best you can. And a momentum gets built. Yes. So, yeah. So that's what I would say about that. But I've watched people, I don't know what they were getting off of, but it looked really bad. What I thought they were on. And this is the weird thing about this stuff. You take it to get relief from something else, and then it becomes the bigger bear. You know what I mean? It becomes the biggest.
Yes. Yes, I've always said it's like, all right, we're going to give you something to get off of it, but what we're giving you to get off is going to be much worse to get off. So
this is why
good luck, buddy.
You want to get off everything. So you don't start with this little, because that's what happens. You get caught up in this circle of stuff where you're taking something so you don't take the other thing. And you'd really like to get reestablished in your own condition, yeah, cleanly. And then you be involved in the recovery community, and it will keep you sober a day at a time. It will allow you not to take anything if you don't want to, a day at a time, and start having a clear life so you don't feel like you're handcuffed all day by the effects of what they say is a solution to something else. Yeah. So yeah, just this can be undone. Yeah? Go through what you need to get through and then start anew. And then because I truly see a sinister shit with a lot of this stuff. You take one thing, then you need to take another thing to get off that one thing, and it goes off. And you
exactly, and it never stops.
You become dumbed down, right? I used to, when I was in Delancey Street, a lot of people there were long-term methadone users. Yeah, it was a rehab. And they had been dumbed down. You know what I mean? They couldn't think clear. They were fucked up. I mean, they were like on Thorazine in a certain way. Yeah. So
walking zombies.
Yes, you get doled out. So this can be corrected. You get the help, get off the shit if possible. And if possible, don't take any more shit. And then you're gonna feel, and then your daughter's gonna sense what's going on in you more than what you say. Yeah. So There you go. That's how I feel about it today, anyway. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you so much. I really, truly appreciate it, man. I'm at work right now, so
yeah.
We got you have another one tonight, right?
No, not tonight. It's Tuesday.
Another meeting tonight?
No, there's the next meeting is Saturday, 1 o'clock Pacific time. And then Tuesday, Thursday. Oh. Tuesday, we have 2 meetings. Right. Thursday, 1, Wednesday night, 1. Yeah. Go to Zen Bitch Slap events, and it has all the schedule. But we're here. Next week, we're going to be live coming up from Northern California. We're going to be doing some talks up there. All right.
When are you coming to the East Coast, real quick before?
I hope maybe late May, early June.
Awesome. Nice speaking to you, Paul. Thank you so much again.
Yeah. All right. Anyone else on the chat or nothing, Mike? No, it's all good.
No. Anything else, Paul? Thank you.
You know, there's a beautiful space that AA talks about. You know, abstinence is the key. Yeah. You know, some things we need to do, but if there's no need to do them, to start there, because to me the real program is never starting again. It's not how to stop. It's about not starting, and not out of like gritting your teeth, but because you're in a sense of contentment and satisfaction. You don't want to fuck things up. Yeah, you really don't anymore. And this is what we talked, this whole reading was about. You know, every other condition is based on your condition. So the condition of your relationship with your daughter is based on your condition. Yes. So let's get that right, so to speak, or at least admit that we can't. And then you'll see things will change. Or if they don't change, you'll travel lighter through them. Yeah. You'll know what to say when you didn't know what to say before and shit. Yeah. Yeah. So we're all here pulling the same rope. Yeah. It doesn't matter who's pulling it the strongest or not. We're all here pulling the same rope. Yes. This whole community here. There's strength in numbers. Yes. Talk with people from this group if you want. And we're all pulling the same thing. No one's checking out who's pulling harder. It's all being moved. Yes. So, yeah. All right. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yes. So let's say goodbye to everyone. Joseph, as always, nice to see you in France. Kana, thanks for dropping in, my friend. Yeah. We got Paul in Pennsylvania. We have Mickey, Michael, Miranda. There you go. Nice to see you. Roman, as always. Steve Cole. I'm in a weird thing. This thing got smaller. Let me make it bigger. All right. Yeah, here we go. We got John S. from Florida, as always. Thank you, John. Sally and Hallie. Elaine, Insane. No. Elaine, Gary. Christine in Kona. Kathleen, there she is. She's running the show now. Her and Mickey are a very strong cabal. Bill Churchman, Beth, we got Maria. Let's see who else. Oh, Nina, I was just thinking of you, honey. I'm happy you checked in. All's well? All is well?
Yeah, all is well. Thanks. Yeah.
All right, good. Emerson, as always. Let's see, Andy, Giselle. Nice to see Andy. Let me see. I think I got Beth. Yeah, Beth up there. Nice to see you, Beth. We go back to 2. We got Oliver in Berlin, Annette in Pennsylvania area, Lori, Andrew, Clay, Zoe down in Arkansas, Tommy, Drew H. I haven't heard Drew in a while. That's good, I think. Amy in Seattle, Nicholas B, Annette. I think that's about it. If I missed you, I didn't miss you. Yeah. And yeah, we'll see you. We'll be here Saturday, 1 o'clock Pacific time is the next meeting. And remember, Rule 62. Don't take yourself so seriously. And if you can't do that, see you're not self. How's that? I guarantee you'll take it less seriously. All right. Adios.
Thanks,
Bye.
Paul.
See you, Paul. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Mike.